Many of us grow up believing that wealth depends on luck, inheritance, or chance. In his classic Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill shows that there is a proven formula applied by men and women of great success throughout history. This formula is not about quick tricks, but about the way we think. Our mind can be the greatest barrier or the greatest asset in building wealth and creating the life we desire. Hill reminds us that everything begins with a burning desire. It is not enough to simply wish. We must ignite a fire inside that transforms intention into relentless action. Desire creates focus, discipline, and perseverance, even in moments of struggle. Without desire, we give up too soon. With it, we push forward no matter the difficulty. And before we dive deeper, remember to like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this message with others. The author spent over 20 years studying the wealthiest men of his time, including Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison. Despite their differences, he discovered that they all followed common principles. These principles became the foundation for his philosophy of success. They are not reserved for the elite. They are universal truths. By applying them, no matter our background or current struggles, we can design a future filled with abundance and freedom. The second principle is faith, not necessarily religious faith, but unshakable belief in ourselves and our goals. When we believe deeply, we create mental images that guide our actions with clarity. Faith transforms doubt into courage and fear into strength. Cultivating faith is not waiting passively for miracles, but acting with confidence, trusting that each step takes us closer to success. Belief fuels persistence, and persistence turns dreams into tangible achievements. Hill teaches the power of autosuggestion. The thoughts we repeat become beliefs, and those beliefs shape our destiny. By feeding the mind with positive affirmations, we slowly train it to align with success. On the other hand, when we constantly repeat thoughts of fear or scarcity, we reinforce failure. Autosuggestion is a daily practice of reprogramming the subconscious, convincing it of victory until victory becomes inevitable. We are what we repeatedly tell ourselves. Specialized knowledge is another essential principle. General information is not enough. We need specific knowledge that creates real value in the marketplace. Wealthy individuals may not know everything, but they master key areas and surround themselves with experts when needed. Knowledge is potential power, but it only becomes true power when applied. Hill reminds us that learning without application is wasted energy. What builds wealth is putting specialized knowledge into consistent practice. Imagination is the workshop of the mind, the birthplace of all riches. Every great fortune began first as an idea. Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and countless others visualized something unseen before bringing it into reality. Hill distinguishes between creative imagination, which generates new concepts, and synthetic imagination, which combines existing ideas in innovative ways. Both are powerful. Imagination allows us to design the future before it happens, turning invisible thoughts into visible wealth. Organization of plans follows naturally after imagination. Desire and faith must be backed by clear strategies. Successful individuals do not stop at ideas. They structure them into actionable steps. Hill stresses that failure often comes not from lack of desire, but from lack of organized plans. Dreams become powerful only when they are transformed into written goals, mapped out, and executed with discipline. A plan without action is just a wish, nothing more. Decision-making is another key factor. Hill found that people who achieve little are often indecisive, waiting endlessly for the perfect moment. They consult too many opinions, hesitate, and miss opportunities. In contrast, successful individuals decide quickly and change their decisions slowly, only when logic demands it. Strong decision-making is the hallmark of leaders. Every time we delay, we lose momentum. Indecision is a silent thief of time, progress, and wealth. Persistence is the glue that binds all principles together. Desire, faith, and plans cannot survive without it. Most people quit when faced with resistance, but those who persist eventually break through barriers. Persistence is a habit, just like quitting. Each time we persist, we strengthen our discipline. Each time we quit, we weaken our willpower. Wealth comes only to those who refuse to give up, even when failure seems inevitable and hope feels distant. One of the most famous concepts of the book is the Mastermind Alliance. No great success is achieved alone. Successful people surround themselves with others who complement their skills, share energy, and exchange ideas. This collective power multiplies results, creating synergy greater than any individual effort. Hill believed that when like-minded individuals join forces, their combined intelligence opens doors that none could open alone. The mastermind principle accelerates growth and transforms ambition into achievement. Hill also emphasizes the need to conquer fear. He describes 6 basic fears: the fear of poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. These fears paralyze the mind and stop us from acting boldly. They keep us trapped in mediocrity. To overcome them, we must confront them directly, replacing fear with faith and purpose. Fear is natural, but it must never be allowed to control our financial or personal destiny. Finally, Hill reminds us that the subconscious mind is like a fertile garden. Whatever we plant there, whether positive or negative, eventually grows into reality. If we plant doubt, fear, and negativity, they blossom into limitations. But if we plant faith, persistence, and desire, they grow into abundance and success. The subconscious cannot distinguish between truth and lie. It simply obeys. That is why we must guard it and feed it carefully every single day. Hill explains that the brain is like a broadcasting and receiving station. It can transmit thoughts, emotions, and intentions, and it can also tune into the frequency of others. When we cultivate positive, focused thoughts, we attract people and opportunities vibrating at the same frequency. This thought transmutation explains why some consistently draw success, while others constantly attract failure. Our mind is the transmitter that converts inner desires into outer results. Another principle that often surprises readers is the transmutation of sexual energy. Hill is not speaking about repression, but about channeling one of the most powerful human drives into creativity, innovation, and achievement. This energy, when redirected, can fuel extraordinary productivity and vision. Many of history's geniuses mastered this transformation, turning raw desire into inventions, businesses, and art. The key is to use this energy as a source of power rather than being ruled by it. Hill introduces the concept of the sixth sense, often called intuition. He explains that the greatest decisions in life are not made solely with logic. The sixth sense emerges as a blend of experience, wisdom, and subconscious insight. It allows us to sense opportunities before others notice, and to avoid traps that logic alone might miss. When we cultivate awareness and trust our inner guide, intuition becomes a priceless ally in building success. Failure, according to Hill, is never final. Most people interpret failure as defeat, but he reframes it as temporary feedback. Every setback contains a lesson, and each lesson moves us closer to our goal if we persist. History's most celebrated leaders and inventors failed countless times before their breakthroughs. The difference was their persistence. Failure becomes permanent only when we quit. Persistence transforms failure into stepping stones toward eventual success. Hill expands the definition of wealth, reminding us that money alone does not equal success. True wealth includes peace of mind, meaningful relationships, health, purpose, and contribution. Many people accumulate money but live in emptiness or fear. Riches without balance bring misery, but riches with harmony bring fulfillment. Wealth is about living abundantly in every area of life. Money is important, but it is only one piece of the larger puzzle of prosperity. He warns strongly against procrastination, calling it one of the greatest thieves of opportunity. The habit of delaying action robs us of time, energy, and success. People wait for the perfect moment, but perfection never comes. Hill urges us to act immediately when ideas and opportunities arise. Action creates momentum, and momentum produces results. Success is never won by those who wait endlessly. It belongs to those who decide quickly and move with determination. Hill emphasizes the power of habit. Our lives are shaped not by single choices, but by repeated daily actions. Success is the result of consistent discipline, while failure is the result of repeated neglect. Every thought, decision, and action becomes a habit that shapes destiny. By cultivating habits of persistence, courage, and focus, we set ourselves on the path of abundance. Habit is the silent architect building either freedom or limitation in our lives. Definiteness of purpose is one of Hill's most powerful principles. Vague goals produce vague results. To achieve wealth, we must have a clear and specific aim, written down and visualized daily. The subconscious responds to clarity with action. When our goals are precise and backed by emotion, our mind works relentlessly to bring them into reality. Success requires more than hope. It requires clear intention and unwavering focus directed toward a definite purpose. Mental discipline is another vital teaching. Hill observed that many people fail because they allow negative influences to dominate their thoughts. Critics, doubters, and cynics poison the dreams of the unguarded mind. We must filter carefully whose voices we allow to shape us. Negativity is contagious, but so is belief. By protecting our mental environment, we shield our desire, faith, and persistence from being destroyed by outside influences. Our mind must remain a fortress. Courage is essential in breaking past limitations. Most people remain in their comfort zones, paralyzed by fear of criticism or loss. Hill teaches that progress always requires risk, not blind recklessness, but bold, calculated action. Every step outside comfort builds confidence and expands possibility. Fear shrinks us. Courage expands us. Without courage, desire never becomes reality. With courage, every obstacle becomes an opportunity to rise stronger and move closer to our vision of success. Sacrifice is another undeniable truth on the path to wealth. Hill insists that we must give up short-term pleasures for long-term rewards. While others spend carelessly, those who build wealth choose discipline, learning, and smart investments. Sacrifice today creates freedom tomorrow. Those unwilling to sacrifice remain stuck, but those who commit reap results that last generations. Success is not found in shortcuts, but in the willingness to trade immediate comfort for lasting abundance. Ultimately, Hill reminds us that the greatest power lies within us. None of these principles require external luck or privilege. They require a decision, the choice to apply desire, faith, persistence, discipline, and courage. When we align our inner world with these principles, the outer world bends in response. We discover that limits exist only in the mind. The mind itself is the greatest form of wealth, and mastery of it unlocks everything. Think and Grow Rich is not just a manual for making money. It is a guide to unlocking our highest potential. It shows us how to transform thought into wealth, fear into courage, and dreams into reality. This message is timeless and universal. And if this message inspired you today, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this wisdom with someone ready to grow. The journey to abundance begins now.